When we picture a failing restaurant, we usually imagine this dramatic reality TV kitchen nightmare, like overcooked steaks, a screaming chef, dust on the chandeliers.
Oh, absolutely. We've been completely conditioned to think that bad food is what ultimately kills a restaurant.
Right. But today we are taking a deep dive into the materials behind the DMAC American Restaurant Planner. And, well, the data paints a completely different picture of why culinary dreams actually crash and burn.
It really does. The most visible part of the dining experience rarely reflects the actual financial reality.
So the food isn't the problem?
Not usually, no. The true culprits behind restaurant closures are almost entirely invisible to the people sitting in the dining room.
Wow.
Yeah, we're talking about unexpected ingredient costs or menus that are priced just a fraction too low.
Or wasted inventory just rotting in a walk-in fridge somewhere.
Exactly. That, or creeping staffing expenses.
But wait, if I'm like a chef opening my first spot, I want to spend my time perfecting my sauces and creating an amazing atmosphere for you, the diner.
Sure, that's the dream.
I mean, I don't want to be staring at a spreadsheet. Doesn't heavily focusing on accounting software kind of stifle the creative side of hospitality?
Well, see, that romantic view of the industry is actually what blinds so many new owners.
Really?
Yeah. Staring at the spreadsheet is what actually protects the creativity. Because, a perfectly seared scallop can't save your business if you're quietly losing 50 cents every single time a waiter carries it to a table.
Oh, wow. Put like that, it makes total sense. So the harsh reality is that it's rarely the chef's palate that fails, but rather this spreadsheet.
Spot on. The underlying mechanism of failure in this industry is almost always a lack of upfront financial planning, not a lack of flavor.
People just don't run the numbers.
Right. Owners discover way too late that their stellar weekend sales still aren't covering their baseline operating costs.
It's kind of like building a house with gorgeous architecture, but you just never bother to measure the foundation.
And eventually the whole thing just sinks into the mud.
Yeah, exactly. So how does this DMAC planner proactively fix the math before someone actually signs a massive commercial lease?
Well, it essentially forces you to turn abstract ideas into an actionable mathematical plan.
Okay, how so?
It gives you the structure to organize your menu and calculate exact recipe and ingredient costs down to the penny.
Literally down to the penny.
Yes. And you can track inventory to reduce waste and even estimate your payroll.
So by combining all those variables, you get a clearer picture.
Exactly. It pinpoints your exact break-even point. You find out exactly how much food you need to sell just to keep the lights on.
Which essentially serves as a financial sandbox then. You can stress test your restaurant concept before risking your life savings.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
Like what happens to the bottom line if minimum wage goes up? Or, if the cost of beef doubles next year?
Right. You can run all those scenarios. And you aren't just doing this in a vacuum either. The materials we're looking at highlight that the planner includes 100 real-world restaurant case studies.
That's a lot of data. But how does looking at 100 other restaurants help me with my specific concept, though?
Because it bridges the gap between theory and reality. It exposes industry blind spots that you might completely overlook.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, in real-world scenarios, you see businesses that go bankrupt not because of bad burgers, but because they completely forgot to factor in, say, the 15-cent cost of a cardboard takeaway box.
Oh, man. And a handful of napkins for their delivery orders.
Exactly. Over 10,000 orders, that tiny unmeasured expense just destroys their profit margin entirely.
That is wild. But it makes sense. You're learning from other people's incredibly expensive errors instead of making your own.
Right. It allows you to develop practical strategies. You see the mechanics of why a certain menu pricing strategy failed for someone else, and you just adjust your sandbox model accordingly.
So whether you are opening a first location or tweaking an existing concept, a plan is always better than a guess.
100%. And
the materials note that this tool costs just $10 a month, which you can easily purchase by clicking Continue to Stripe over at ChandlerMcKenzie-apps.com.
Yep.
Honestly, avoiding just a single one of those takeaway box level inventory mistakes makes it worthwhile immediately.
It really does. I do need to highlight a critical caveat from the source material, though.
Oh, sure. What is it?
This planner is strictly an educational and business planning tool. It does not guarantee profitability.
Makes sense.
Yeah, its projections entirely depend on the accuracy of the information you tap into it. Like, if you artificially lower your estimated ingredient cost just to make your business plan look pretty, the tool won't save you.
Basically, garbage data in, garbage business plan out.
Precisely. You have to be brutally honest with your inputs to get honest projections.
It really makes you think about how fragile success can actually be.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if a single avoided inventory mistake or one underpriced recipe can save an entire business, it really begs the question, what unmeasured ingredient or hidden cost in your own current projects might be quietly draining your resources right now?